How to do a fade for cosmetologists. I have a lot of friends in cosmetology, and I get asked all the time to help teach them how to do a skin fade. They always talk about how nervous they are and how they don't feel comfortable doing skin fades. So, this video is for you guys. So basically, you want to start by creating your first line. We are going to be doing a high skin fade. The line should be at least 3 fingers above the ear, or gauging on the person's head shape. You want to go ahead and make sure it is above the corner of where the lineup on the side meets the swoop on the temple area, and how those two corners meet. You want to make sure that the line is just above that, and that is going to start your high skin fade. You want to go ahead and create your first line. You don't want to go in too hard and make the line too drastic. What I mean is, like, don't press too hard. Don't make it such a distinctive line with your trimmers, because the harder you make the line, the harder it's going to be to fade it out. So as you can see, I'm really gentle, and I'm making my line all the way across. I'm scooping up and out as I get up towards the line. It just kind of lightens it up and makes it a little bit easier to fade. You see how I'm going really gentle across like that? You see how gentle I am with my trimmer. I'm not pushing too hard. I'm not making an aggressive hard line in there. So it's just going to make it easier for you. Do anything you can to make the fade go as easy as possible for you when you begin your haircut. So after you've created your first line, we're going to go ahead and use our electric shaver after that to go ahead and make the bottom nice and clean and tight. It's just going to make the skin fade stand out a lot more. And I know from cosmetologists telling me all the time that sometimes they're usually scared to use the electric shaver. This is my new one, actually. I love it. It's by Stylecraft. But they say how they're usually afraid to use the electric shaver because it's really hard to get that line out, which, yes, it is. It does make it a little bit more difficult, but it really does make the haircut last longer, makes the fade stand out a lot more, and it just looks like a nice, cleaner, tight fade. So I'm going to teach you how to remove that line and how to use the shaver correctly when doing a skin fade. So basically, once you have your line created, you take your shaver, and you can see I'm not going super hard. On the bottom, you can go use whatever pressure you need to go ahead and make sure all that hair is getting out. Try different angles also, because sometimes the hair grows in different directions. But once you get up towards the top, you want to make sure to kind of scoop out, just like what you do with the trimmer. Kind of scoop out towards the top, so that way you're not making an aggressive shaver line in there, because it's basically you're going to have a little stubble line, which is going to come from the shaver. And so you don't want to make it super aggressive, so just kind of scoop out at the top. And then when you're blending in between the shaver and the bottom of your fade, which is like going to be like a 0 or a half, you're going to use the corner of your trimmer to kind of blend that in between there. And as long as you don't use an aggressive line in there, you should be good to go. So now I got my number 2 guard lever closed, and we're going to go up and take the number 2 up to the part, because I already know that's going to be the end point for this fade. He wants it from a skin fade up to a 2. So we just go ahead and take that up right away. So that's kind of just getting a lot of the bulk out the way. It just makes it a little bit easier to see the area and fade a lot better. So 2 all the way up to the part. Now we have our half guard on our clipper, lever is closed, and we're going up about 1 finger's width. So just take your finger, put it up to where the line starts, and where your finger stops at, go up right to there. Go up to the point where your finger stops, but look, make sure you're scooping out. You can see I'm scooping out. It's like a very subtle scoop, but I'm scooping out towards as I go up. So I'm going up, but I'm scooping out. It's a very subtle scoop, but that's the motion I'm making, because every time you do a scooping motion, when your clipper goes up, you're basically making the line super light. So when you blend, it blends in super easy. And now we have no guard. We're just kind of playing around with that lever between a 0 and half, using the corner, kind of scooping out. That's going to blend that into the bottom with the shaver, and if I need to, I will use the corner of my trimmer if I feel like there's still a line there, just to make sure it's nice and blurry at the bottom. After that, you're going to go ahead and take that number 1 guard Number one guard, same thing, scoop in motion, go up about a finger's width. You can see it's just about a finger's width I'm going up, not super high. It's maybe like a half inch or a quarter inch, something like that. And yeah, and just go up and do that scooping motion with the number one. Lever is closed, but then open it just a little bit just to go up a tiny bit more. But we're not going to go all the way up. We're just kind of removing a little bit of the weight right above that. After that, we're going to go ahead and put our half guard back on. Lever is going to be closed, and we're going to play around with the lever, and we're going to be using the corner to blend into the zero that we're doing on the bottom, and also blend in between the number one. So you can see we're using the corner, we're scooping, and it's starting to get kind of blurry there, but there's still a lot of detail work we need to do at the end. So now I'm just doing a little bit of detail work. You can see I took the guard off. The lever is about halfway open using the corner just to take out any dark areas, anywhere that I feel like it's just not a smooth blend. Use your mirror to make sure to look at the haircut from a different angle. It's basically going to show you as if somebody is looking at the haircut, because sometimes when you're too close to the haircut, you don't really get a full clear view. So make sure to turn your haircut towards the mirror and take a good look, and any areas, go ahead and work on that. Sometimes you can do the detail work at the end of the fade, or you can do it in between. I mean, I've done both. I think doing it in between before you finish the fade is better, because then you know exactly where you're at, whether rather than like at the end, you kind of got to gauge, oh, is this like a number one or is this a half? You know what I mean? So yeah, and then we have our 1.5 guard on, lever is closed, and we're just kind of blending that into the two. And then we use our number one guard and go back down with that using the corner and scooping. And like I said, it's very subtle, but I'm only using the corner and I am scooping out. As you become a pro at this, as you practice, you'll kind of know what I mean. As you see other barbers and watch other content, you'll know what I mean. But it's just a very subtle, smooth motion that you do, and it just helps to make the haircut a lot easier. The goal is to make the whole fade an easy experience, less work for you, and get through it as quickly as possible so you can get your next haircut, right? So yeah, it's basically, what I'm doing. Then I got my half guard. Now the fade is done. I'm just basically doing some detail work, using whatever guards I need or no guards, just to blend any areas that are a little bit darker than they should be. So now moving on to the opposite side, it's literally going to be the exact same thing. The only difference is, since the comb over is on this side, we are going to leave a little bit of weight at the top there, and we're just going to use our our shears to blend that in. So we're going to leave a little bit of weight there because we're going to wet the top, and then give it a nice little trim. I'm going to comb it over and all that. So that's the only difference. But other than that, the exact same steps. Fingers go up about a finger's width. Use the corner of your blade and scoop out when you're fading. And those 3 steps will lead you to any smooth fade. Doesn't matter if it's skin or not skin. Those 3 steps will help you a ton. Okay, it makes your life easier. It makes the haircut quicker, and just make sure to utilize your mirror as well to see. Just keep track of the haircut. Make sure everything is looking symmetrical and even and stuff like that. As you guys are watching this side of the fade, I just want to get into a little more detail of what I was talking about with cosmetologists. So for those of you that don't know, cosmetology and barbering, those are 2 separate things. They are both in the hair industry category, but they're 2 separate licenses, 2 separate things. When you go to barber school, you're learning how to do fades, do shaves, do mostly like men's style haircuts, like shorter haircuts with clippers, trimmers, stuff like that. When you go to cosmetology school, you're learning more about how to cut long hair, long women's hair, could be men's hair too, or using like pretty much all shears, and you are learning how to layer and texture and do all these things, and then you're also learning a lot about color as well. So there are a lot of people that have both licenses, and there are a lot of people that only have one or the other. And so they'll go and take classes on the opposite one to learn more, or just learn from someone, or watch content like this. So that's why I'm making this video, because I have a lot of friends that are Cosmos. They work in hair salons, and they like doing men's haircuts, and they want to do more of it. Like men's fades, and they want to do more of it, but they just don't feel confident enough to do it. They have their friends or their boyfriends or girlfriends that they'll practice on, but they really just don't feel super confident in doing it. So I wanted to put out this video specifically for them, to give my steps on how I like to do things, just give my take on how I like to do things for when it comes to skin fades, because this hair texture is a pretty easy hair texture to blend. It's definitely, I mean, it can be tough, but I'm just very comfortable with it. So it's a pretty easy hair texture to blend for me, and I thought this would be a good one. It also shows you everything when you're working on someone who has dark hair but has a lighter skin complexion. You can kind of see everything. So you can see all the areas that I'm messing up in or I'm doing well in. So this will give you a great view of my fade and how it looks, and every little thing that I'm doing. So if you don't like this fade, go ahead and tell me in the comment. But I think it came out pretty good, and I think it's a great one, a great haircut, and this is a great client for me to do it on, for me to do a tutorial on for all my hairstylists, my Cosmos, anybody that wants to learn how to cut hair, really. But this is definitely more for them. I want to make it as easy as possible for you. You can really feel confident in this. It's not hard. I know doing skin fades is a little scary, but it's really not hard at all. Like I said, the three main keys that you want to remember is doing a scooping motion. You see how I'm doing it right there? That nice scooping motion. It's subtle, but it's there. Does not have to be drastic. But you want to do the three things. Is you want to do a scooping motion. You want to go up no more really than a finger's width. That can also vary, like depending on high or low skin fade, and how much hair they have on top, and all these different variables. But for the most part, you do a scooping motion. You go up about a finger's width, and you use the corner of your clipper to blend. The corner of your clipper is key, and you're still scooping with the corner. That is a big secret. You're still scooping with the corner. Okay, you're not just using the corner. You're still gonna scoop with it, because that's still gonna be very effective and not create any more hard lines. Okay, so think of using your whole blade as creating a line, or using your whole blade as using regular shears, and using the corner of your blade as thinning shears. Your thinning shears is more to just like get that nice fall into place blend, and the regular shears are to cut off length. Cut off length and cut off certain areas to make everything even and whatnot. Okay, so that's a good way for a Cosmo to think about it, because it might make more sense. But yeah, thinning shears will give you that nice blend. Same thing with using the corner of your clipper. And you literally just repeat the same steps on all three sides, and just be consistent. Practice on your friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, whoever will let you practice. And if you can, find somebody like this who has dark hair but a lighter skin complexion, because that is going to show you all the areas where you're really messing up in, and then that'll allow you to fix those areas and get better and better. Okay, if you try to cheat and use somebody that has like blonde hair and like pale skin, it's gonna like just look like it's blending in no matter what. It's not really hard to mess that up. But if you go with someone like this, it doesn't matter what type of hair texture, but just like dark hair color and lighter skin complexion, and you can really see every detail and where you really need to work on. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. Then we do like kind of a light trim on top, blend it into the side. We only line up the corners for him. We're not going to line up the whole front, and we're going to add a little bit of enhancements as well. So if you guys just stick around to the end of this video, you'll see the full cut. I think it came out great. You please let me know in the comments. So when lining up the corner, just, line up the top part of the corner and then the sidebar. That's pretty much it. We're going to add a little bit of enhancement just to make it kind of pop a little more, but that's all you're doing right there. Nothing too crazy. But I think that definitely made the fade stand out a lot more. And then when using enhancements, make sure to kind of stay a few inches away when spraying so it doesn't come out all heavy. And just real light, a couple sprays, make sure you're doing it in the right area, and that's it. Don't go too hard on it, especially when doing it on a lighter skin complexion, because it could really look unnatural. So yeah, and yeah, this is the final product. We're just adding a little bit of a styling product to his hair. Yeah, this is the front part. In a second, I'm going to show you guys the whole haircut. But yeah, I had fun with this one. This is a loyal client of mine. Truly appreciate him. I appreciate you guys for watching this to the end. If this helped out any Cosmos, please leave a comment. Let me know if you want more videos like this, and I will do my best to get some more content out there. I appreciate you all for watching. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting me, and I will catch you on the next video.